Hi there everyone, I would like to show you my build for 3.14 Raid Golem Mines, which I'll be doing for Ultimatum. The reason why I chose Elementalist as my Ascendancies as compared to Saboteur will be due to the following reason. So first of all, we look at the Ascendancy. The first route that I went to is choosing the Golemancer elements skill notes. And why do I do that is because of the buff that they give, especially Stone Golem. And why Stone Golem? Because Stone Golem gives us that life regeneration, which is essential if you're gonna spam reap our main skill damage. So on top of that, there's this effect of buff which is really good. So just by adding these two is 50% per golem. So as you can see, I got 4 golems, which means that the buff effect is increased by 200%. And of course, other skill nodes that you add in the witch tree area, there's still more increase in effects of buff as well. So the next one I went to is shock, and yes, my mind can shock, which boosts my damage as well. Um, I haven't done my trials of ascendancies yet for Izaro, so the next one I'm gonna get is Bastions of Elements, which will give me more than 2k shield in a way. So let's talk about these mechanics about mines, because when you use any other mines, your mana is reserved for that. So you need to care about your mana consumption and mana regeneration and whatsoever. So the problem with Reap is really a very good choice actually. So as you can see, about more than 95% of my mana is being reserved. And where did it go to? I bought this Vinvinsect unset ring and I input Pride. So that will give me 55% of reservation. And then I use War Banner because it increased physical damage to nearby enemies, as well as Petrified Blood, which give. But if I use this, it will consume my mana completely. So I need to have at least Enlightened level 3 to help me with simple movement skill, which is dash. And my dash is accompanied by Arcane Search and Second Wind, so that it can proc my Arcane Search for more damage. So the build here is really interesting because of the mechanics of Petrified Blood and Rip Mines, because whenever you rip, you consume life. And the good thing about this skill is the combo combination, somehow it works. I'm not sure whether it's working as intended or it's bugged, but it's really interesting. Look at my life now, it's about 5179. So if I divide by 2, okay, and how do I divide by 2 is, let me use my corrupting fever all the way to the point. Okay, so 2589 is half of my current HP, my max HP actually. So now when I throw my mines, my 2589 will remain stagnant, but my overall health decrease due to reservation. So look at this. So even my total health life dropped by 703 due to the mines, but my current life still stays as 2589. And the good thing about that is because of low life, which is now once you hit 50% of your life, you have you are considered low life. So this 30% more spell damage is really a whooping boost to your damage. So currently, as you can see, it's 71k. So even if I throw my mines, which 2500 divided by less than 5k is not half, but the low life penalty is still active. So Petrified together with Read Minds really works super well because you don't have to care about your mana. You can reserve totally all the way, but leave some mana for dash for Arcane Search, and you can use your mind to with Petrified Blood and to sustain. It's really insane. Yeah. Alright, so next we're going to talk about my items in this build. So as you can see, the main unique items that I have is Cold Iron Point, Dual It, and it will give me a total of +6 to all physical skill gems. And these are all my physical skill gems in my build. So first of all, Stone Golem, to give me much more life regeneration, together with the increased effect of buff and everything. Yeah. Okay, next is of course the main Rip skill, which gives me a boost of 6 levels, a huge amount of damage. And I have like level 19 and the damage is really significant. So just because of 2 level difference, it on my tooltip it's about more than 12k of damage. I'm gonna try Anomalous or whatever is that pronounced into here because this one gives extra crit chance which can give me more damage, and I can change some of the links if I need to. So other than that, what other skill gems will be affected by my Core Iron Point would be War Banner, Pride, and that's about the skill gems that I use in my build. So we're gonna look at the specific unit that I'm using, which is Carcass Jack, which is not really a really specification, really what I intended to use actually, but considering the area of effect, it's really good to have. It boosts your clearing speed, and the damage is decent together with a few nice elemental resistance with some life. It's one of the nicest unique armor. But if you fall short in life, you can go for any other units. But I prefer Carcass Jack because of the nice AoE. So next we're gonna talk about my items, I think. Okay. So over here, my helmet, there's this I bought this rather cheap. Okay. What I want is the rip damage as well as minion gems to boost my stone golem regeneration. Okay, and of course focus on life resist and whatsoever. Next we talk about my amulet. Now my amulet is really is a lucky drop from the lake itself. So what happened was this drop it dropped me this amulet, and it's only with 3 mods and 2 unveiled mods. So the 2 unveiled mods was actually the AoE and the throwing speed, which I'm a minor, so I chose it instead, and it looks quite well. What I would do maybe perhaps is change that chaos resistant to something else, I'm not sure. But initially what I intend to use as my amulet is the predominant chain, where you are able to summon 3 additional golems, which I find that it's good because it boosts your buffs of your golems. But this amulet is just too nice to not use. So I chose this instead and allocate Vanquisher, which gives me 40 increased physical damage as well as crush for 4 seconds when I hit them on full HP, which is really nice to have. Next we're gonna look at my other ring. My other ring is just a life and resistance and a bit of damage. Next, we're going to talk about my gloves. My glove is just a simple life and maybe some regen with simple resist and spell damage increase. You don't really need the spell damage, but if you have it, it's a plus. And we look at my boots. My boots is just full of life and full of strength and regen and resistance and movement speed Without movement speed, it's still possible because dash cooldown is quite fast with second wind. And lastly, my belt, which I'm very happy to have it, which will give me additional damage as well as life. And the most important mod here is the 20% increased life recovery rate, which boosts my health regeneration rather significantly. So, as you can see, I have 4 golems now, and let's look at my regeneration over here. Life regeneration per second is 1055.8. That's really nice to have in my build. So for flasks, you can't use much because of brutality support and of course your core iron point as well. So since that I'm using a flask which is not instant, so I don't have to keep spamming if I'm bleeding. Anti-cursed, this is just utility. Um, smoke together with more evasion, and of course anti-poison, which is very important doing this. Now how about anti-shock, anti-ignite, and anti-freeze? That is settled because we chose the Ascendancy of Immenser. So as long as I have 3 golems up, I don't have to worry about being frozen or being chilled or being burnt or being shocked. It's a very nice quality of life to go through elemental skill tree as compared to saboteur. This is one of the reasons why I chose elementalist. Next, we're going to talk about my skill tree. So first, I started off going to the left because I prefer spell damage as compared to energy shield. So just go to the left, and from here, I branch to the right side and add all my mind nodes. Okay, but by the time I reached to level 38, I went to add this route to add this Golemancer, which additionally allowed me to summon one more Golem, which is very important because we will need that effect of buffs for our Stone Golem, which help us regen fast enough to spam our Reap. And then we continue with this side of the tree for a lot of damage boost at the Shadows tree. And then we branch down to Scion tree, take more life as well as some physical damage, and a little bit at Templar's tree for more life as well. Now I counted there's about 30 notables, which means that by the time when I do and get my best chance of elements, I have about 2250 damage, elemental damage prevented from this primal Aegis. So I will be like extremely tanky, and by then hopefully I can update you with another video with this rip mines. So as you can see, my rip mines consumes only life and reserve life. So as you can see, because of my Carcass Jack, the AoE is really fast, really big, and it can clear like off screen and near screen as well. I mean, yeah, because mine's fun. As you can see, I can just spam it this way and whatever. So let's talk about the skill links that I have for my Rip. So for Rip, I went for a high impact mine, which will boost my damage further. I went for Swift Assembly instead of Minefield because I don't want to feel clunky while doing my mapping. And bossing is not that significant. There's a slight significant boost in damage if you use Minefield, but you can't just run away whatsoever if you use Minefield instead of Swift Assembly. And next, I went for Trap and Mine damage support, Brutality support, and lastly, I went for Charge Mine because of the additional increased mine throwing speed. So it will increase 30%, and it's quite nice to have. Of course, I can change this to control destruction, which will give me more damage output. But I want to be more uh, fast in my throwing and clearing, so I went for Charge Mine instead. So this is my 6th link. of Carcass Jack with Rip Mines. And then my golems, I use 4 different kind. Chaos Golem for the additional physical damage reduction. Sadly, it doesn't have the physical tag on it. Yeah, so it's not so bad, but at least we got the boost. Stone Golem, yes, he got physical and spell, boost total of 8 levels. Hopefully, I will buy one of the alternate quality that increases buff further. Yeah, and Flame Golem and Ice Golem. Next on my shoes is my aura. I might consider moving to my gloves so that I can craft this. What's that? Craft this socketed AOE gems, which will affect my war banner. Actually, it doesn't really matter because my pride is in my Vinvin sect ring, so it doesn't matter. So it can stay here for like you don't have to give any AOE skill gem mod to boost the level. It's quite insignificant because it's not giving you flat damage. So War Banner, Petrified Blood for Aura, and Enlighten is needed. Otherwise, I don't have mana to spam my skills, but I can still spam mines. But the problem is I don't have a dash and whatsoever. So Enlighten is very much needed here. And Steel Skin, put on my left click, so it always activate when I'm walking. Next on my glove is Utility Movement, Dash, Arcane Search, and Second Wind, and Enduring Cry, which I don't really use that much. Okay, so yeah, it's not really that effective. I'm not sure what to use with this slot actually, but we have more than enough sockets to clear the map. Next on my right dagger, I went with Corrupting Fever. As you can see, I have +6 level because it has a physical spell. I went for more duration and more damage as well as Swift Affliction. If I can, I rather use increased duration so that it can keep on do damage with Corrupting Fever. But 6 second long is quite decent. And doing additional 7,000 plus physical damage per second, which is quite good. Next on my left dagger, it's weird, but I'm trying to use a cast when damage taken support, but I went with Detonate, Mines, and Enfeeble. Until I find another socket, I might change this Enfeeble to Vulnerable, but Enfeeble is just fine, my damage is fine, and I'm too lazy to spam my curse, so what I do is just spam my Mines and Detonate hotkey, which is um, tedious enough to do so. I got this ring here which use curse enemies with vulnerability on hit. Um, it's a very nice quality of life to just curse and hit at the same time with your minds. But to me, I don't really like it because I can't use my Viv Insect, and that would prevent me from using Pride and any other combination that I've thought of so far. So once I get my Bastions of Elements, I would say I would be rather tanky to do most contents. Currently, my highest map tier is T9, so this is just to show you how the gameplay feels like. So let's go. I'm not gonna choose anything. Yep. Okay. Corrupting Fever, let's go. So as you can see, they died with a blue body, means that they are shocked.
Back for another sparring session, Exile? I've learned a few new techniques since our last one.
When I'm ready, and not before.
So the good thing is that this skill, if you're using it manually, you have to go nearer to your enemies to cast and kill them. But for this, you can stay quite far and kill from a distance, which is really a very nice way of using Rip. The only thing that I have to mention is that you won't be able to use you won't be able to benefit from this so-called blood charge because um, yes, because you're using mines, so you can't really uh, benefit from the most blood charge. But it's okay because you throw a lot of mines and you can kill. Your damage is not very high already, so you don't have to really care about the blood charge bonus. A lot of useless items. Okay, as you can see, my life regeneration is quite there. 1k plus, um, yeah, 1k plus regeneration. It's really yummy. Okay, and here we got the arena. So what you're gonna do is throw this, and then let's go. Okay, and now it's just running there, so we just do this. Okay, of course you need to move here and whatever because of stupid Maven. Okay, and we're done. Quite smooth and rather easy to play as compared to go near to the enemy and you have to use your rip at near range. Yeah. So apparently I didn't follow um, any guides. There's no guide on this yet. I just figure things out on my own. And let's just see how I do this Ultimatum, whatever the league call. Okay, let's go. Useless.
When I'm ready and not
Okay, with 1k life regen, I don't really need to use my health pot. A bit of this chaos cloud to look out for that stupid cloud. Thanks, chaos. The only time I would probably die is if I didn't take notice of the cloud. And yeah. Stupid item.
Night's madness drains away all hope.
Okay. Okay. I don't really understand this ruin thingy. Yeah, I have to keep moving, otherwise I have a problem.
I need more mana.
Okay, 5 all ups, hopefully it's okay.
Can you feel death coiling around your
heart? Almost the stupid cloud. This should be it. Oh! I'm not sure whether I can do it or not.
ruin hides in every
Come on. No! Oh, I did it! I did it! Yes! Do you see that icon? This 6. Uh, 6. Uh, 6. Because when you read 7, it's GG for you. Oh, I got my exalt from this. Yeah. So, yeah, so you can see that I survived rather well. Just need to be careful with regards to um, yeah. Okay, I'm still shocked from the 1 EX drop. It's my first EX of the league after playing for quite some time. Um, yeah, and of course, lastly, I would like to say on how much is my items. Um, because I play everything from scratch, and yeah, let me just clear up some of my inventory first and take that stupid incandescence nonsense.
Still safe.
Clear things up.
Be careful.
Um, I think I don't usually keep weapons of low level. Chaos recipe, chaos recipe, diamond flask. I use this. Oh, I'm still euphoric over my exalt. Okay, so yeah, that was really well, whatever it is. Okay, thank you, EX. So doing rip mines as a guide, not guide, but merely just showing my build makes me have an EX. I'm happy. Yep. Okay, so let's talk about the cost of my build. So first of all, when I started off, the main thing I went for is Core Iron Point, and Core Iron Point cost me about 35C each then, which is about, yeah, 1 or 2 weeks when I started playing. So I figured things out on my own. I didn't have a tabula first, but I have it after that, and then I figured out the links. I used utility instead. That's why I went for charge mine instead of damage. Um, the damage is good enough. It kills very fast for a T9 map. I'm not sure how far this build goes, but I can see that it can be a very good, nice build to do. Next, um, I upgraded my rest just yesterday, and I spent a total about 200 to 300 chaos. This Win set cost me 140 chaos. It's about more than the next. Um, yeah, and the rest of the items, this is a drop, so that's why I'm using it. This helmet, I bought it cheap, not so expensive because of the 25% damage and 2 socket minions, and the resist is a bit pathetic, but I should go for it anyway. This ring doesn't cost that much. This belt, I bought for 5C actually, I think 5C. Yeah, but it's really good actually. I probably want to remove the maximum energy shield and add on a life regeneration, which boosts my survivability much more. And for a glove, this is a bit expensive, not very expensive, let's say like 20C because of the spell damage mod and the decent resist in there. And this build is slightly more expensive because of the strength and life and movement speed and a bit of resist. So it's not that expensive. So about my 6 link Carcass Jack, I spent about 400 fusings plus to fuse it, and that's how I get my Carcass Jack 6 link. And I really like this build so far because I find that the combination with Petrified Blood together with Pain Attunement, it's really good. And I believe my survivability will I will survive much better with this Bastion of Elements, but sadly I only clear 4 trials out of 6. So got 2 more to find, and I don't like to find party to do. So from what I can see, I'm not sure what gears I'm gonna upgrade, but probably more life. I don't have to do with so much strength, but strength gives you life because 2 strength gives you +1 life, and I have to see what I can improve on. If you have any suggestion, also please comment. And yeah, Rip Mines. And why Elementalist is because it's rather near to the Shadow Tree as well. So if I, there's no point choosing like Duelist and then you try to add all these mind skills, which is insignificant. I didn't go for efficient explosives because damage is a bit for additional of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6 notes for this amount of damage is not really worth it. It's out of my uh, range, and yeah, it's just 10% more damage, which I don't really feel like. I don't really need the reservation because I want. Yeah, I don't really need it because of Petrified Blood. My reserve life, my total life will be affected, but my 2589 is still there, which means that it's still considered low life, and yeah, so I don't really have to care that much about reservation. I would probably change this to this side instead. Maybe I should, cause okay, let's see. 41 life reservation is 37. Let's just change it for fun. Let's remove 2. Go for more speed. Okay, so now my reservation life is not that much as well. So let's see, just now it was about 7. Now we reserve 70 more life, but my life due to Petrified is still the same 2589. So Petrified Blood with Mines is really great because look at my mana reservation. I don't have much mana, which is fine. And the result of my life and my 2589 doesn't get touched at all. So I'm not sure whether this is a bug or working as intended, but yeah, it's really good to see one of your build is working out, and I can see myself playing maybe T60 maps soon, I guess. Hopefully I find more maps to climb. Yeah, so I think that's about my build, and yeah, hope you'll stay tuned for the next video. Hopefully I'll be uploading it. So thank you so much, and do feel free to comment to help me improve my build as well. And I hope you'll find Grid Mines
When I'm
quite
ready,
fun to play with. Okay, so yeah, I'll see you around. Adios.